You mentioned you watched the zone card. One big takeaway was Ben Shalom being there alongside Eddie Hearn, front row, and then obviously Ben Shalom's guy beating the Eddie Hearn guy, if you like. It's been an interesting few weeks for Eddie. He probably won't admit it, but Subriel Matias getting beat by Liam Parrow. He put a lot of stock into Subriel Matias. Obviously, giving Felix Cash the opportunity to headline a card. You look at all the 5 versus 5 guys. I know some of them he won't care too much about. Some he will. Raymond Ford he will. Ammo Williams he will. A lot of his unbeaten kids are taking beatings by rival promoters. He's not going to like that.
He can't afford Anthony Joshua to lose against potentially Daniel Dubois either. That would be a huge blow. Yeah, but the stable is strong. The fights come thick and fast. Just to roll over what you were saying there on that card. Yes, good to see Ben Shalom and Eddie Hearn together. Why the devil weren't they or haven't they before anyway? The fact that I think I can say this. Ben Shalom working with other people is good. I think it's out there that Willie Hutchinson is signed to fight Joshua Boazzi. That's brilliant. That's Shalom working with the Warrens and Queensbury. That's great news. The more cooperation, the more that promoters are prepared to take the risk to be the away fighter with their fighters on someone else's card. Long may that reign, frankly, because it creates scenarios that we want to see, and that was part of the nuance of Saturday night with having Ben Shalom there and Eddie trying to have a pop at him still, and having a pop at him afterwards in post-fight interviews about McDonald's drive-throughs and how he's a cheapskate and all these kind of things, and the delight of Ben Shalom at his fighter winning. Notwithstanding the brilliance of Tyler Denny as he develops as a middleweight and who probably should end up fighting Hamza SHEERAZ at some point, again, in a crossover fight. That's a great crossover fight. So all really good stuff. Great to see those guys working together and great to see them together. And I said, I watched the card. I watched the DAZN card on the app and the show looked good.
It was a nice show.
Yeah,
it really was. It was a nice show. Sometimes you have these ones where maybe they go under the radar a little bit just because they seem to be sandwiched in between either big news, obviously what's coming up in the next couple of days, or fight cards previous. Felix Cash obviously was super disappointing. He's been out in the ring 18 months. And even prior to that, he didn't look good in a couple of fights before he was out of the ring. His last good performance was against Denzel Bentley when he was arguably the best British middleweight. He's now with Adam Booth, and you kind of hope that would give him something, another spice, another bit of a gear. And we saw nothing. And I just wonder if Darren Barker says something at the end of the broadcast, and he doesn't normally say this. Darren Barker was like, I don't know if we're going to see him in the ring again. And I was like, wow, that's a bit of a statement. But I guess a fighter can see when a fighter is just not there.
Yeah, but look, Darren doesn't say those kind of things and call people into retirement, like you say. He was a guy that fought with 70-year-olds' hips in his last couple of fights. At the end, classed as 70-year-olds' hips. Felix Cash didn't look there. My feeling is he looked very ring rusty, couldn't find any timing, and he fought Tyler Denny's fight. He just didn't look comfortable in there. I think you mentioned Denzel Bentley. I think that was Matchroom Square Garden, wasn't it? Back in COVID. Memory.
Might have been. It was a long time ago. It was 2021, so it was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was Matchroom Square Garden. Yeah, I mean, where, we were living in the Holiday Inn and just down the road there from DAZN and shuttling up and kind of locked away, playing cricket in the back garden of the Holiday Inn on the edge of the A12 for 4 or 5 days. That's a long time ago. As you say, Cash has been out. He just didn't look right. He just did not look right. He didn't look comfortable in there. There was no rhythm, no timing. He had a little bit of success. And frankly, should have fought the fight on the outside. His shapes looked wrong.
Yeah.
And we know how talented he is. Yeah.
No, you're so right. His shape was awful. His feet were bad. And I was like, one second, you're the super talented Felix Cash here. In terms of talent, you're no disrespect to Tyler Denny, but there's a level here. And ultimately, talent just doesn't beat hard work when talent doesn't work, right?
Absolutely. 3 years ago, if that was the Felix Cash, we'd have been talking about him fighting Hamza SHEERAZ
Yes.
and in a great British clash. We're talking about Tyler Denny facing him now.
Yeah.
And Tyler
It's
Denny
boxing.
deserves that opportunity. And if they haven't got an opponent for Hamza SHEERAZ for September yet, I'm hearing all sorts of things. We can delve into that in a little bit. Then Tyler Denny, Hamza SHEERAZ, I'd watch that. I'd see SHEERAZ as the favourite, but it's a good fight.
It's a good fight. And as you say, he deserves it. He deserves a big fight now, a big opportunity. And Ben Shalom has to deliver.